A good day, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I am thankful to the Geoglam and the organizers for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to pay tribute to our dear friend Dr. Shibehndu Shankar Ray, who has been a close friend, a partner, and a professional colleague. Uh, our bonding started something about 33 years ago in the late 1980s when we were student at the Division of Agricultural Physics pursuing our master's degree and later on doctoral degree. Though he was 1 year senior to me, but his unassuming personality, his simple mannerism, and always that smiling face brought me very close to him as a buddy. When I look back in time, I find that he developed many qualities which made him achieve milestones later in his professional career and personal life that are exemplary. Two specific incidents of our student days which I remember and they stand out comes to my mind which shows his two great qualities. One, to foray into new areas of study even though it may involve high risk, and second, to be a leader who can take people along as a team. When he started after his master's, when he started his PhD, he opted to work under a very senior faculty, Dr. R.P. Gupta, who was a renowned traditional soil physicist, but he was a very tough master. And no student in last 10 years opted to work under his guidance, except for Dr. Ray, who opted him as his advisor for his PhD and took lot of intensive experimentation on rice crop with soil and plant sampling and their analysis. And Dr. Ray could successfully complete those tasks well in time of 2 years, because after that he got selected and he was to join SAC Ahmedabad for his first job. And besides, he also produced a lot of good papers out of his thesis. Especially, it included also developing a computer model on root growth in response to various physical parameters of soil, and which was a bit. It was those days when computer programming was nascent in India, especially computer modeling. Another incident of his risk-taking capabilities that he took a risk to go for an inter-religious marriage, which was a bit uncommon in those days, 30 years back. And for that he had to face some music initially also during his student days. But we were there standing by our friend. As a leader, he was a very natural leader and always volunteered to participate and lead in community activities. So he was our institute's cultural secretary, coordinating various cultural programs, and also was instrumental in starting what we call as Saraswati Puja, a function to worship goddess of learning in student hostel. Later on, we both applied together, appeared in the same interview and got selected to join SAC ISRO, and including we worked in same project and stayed in the same rented accommodation during our initial years at SAC Ahmedabad. His contributions at SAC in use of remote sensing for agriculture has been elaborated by previous speakers. So instead of going on to those details of my experiences, I'll come back to when we again started interacting in 2012 onwards till recently. Because it was in 2003 I joined back IRI and came back to academics. And Dr. Ray came back to IRI as founding director of Mahalanobis National Crop Forecasting Center. This center incidentally was again located in our own institute campus. So our close personal professional interaction got strengthened. We started meeting during office hours, after office hours, over dinner with common friends, discussing various personal, professional issues and enjoying our time. I miss those times. Professionally, when he came back, we got associated in two ways. First was through common professional societies as office bearers of Indian Society of Agrophysics and also Indian Society of Remote Sensing Delhi chapter. And because we were under the same ministry, we had the common tasks, meeting and policy workshops to attend, and contributed also together in those tasks. One of the most important tasks which we undertook was the revision of Manual of Drought Management in India that I would like to mention here. In that revision of manual, one of the most important crucial tasks was to incorporate objective criteria for drought declaration at an administrative scale, and this criteria or protocol was to be implemented by state governments, as agriculture is a state subject and what we declare in India is agriculture drought. So it was Dr. Ray's idea to devise a hierarchical protocol which is simple but remains objective, accounting for both causative factors as well as the impact factors, with some limited ground truthing for verification. This protocol was discussed by the team with different stakeholders, was refined, and ultimately was adopted by Government of India and is under implementation by different states since 2016. So many states, whenever they are facing and declaring severe drought category at different administrative units, they get monetary supports from the federal government to be able to provide relief to the affected community. So I feel it was a great contribution of the team under the guidance of Dr. Ray to bring science for the use of common man, for the betterment of the common people. Another initiative Dr. Ray single-handedly took on his shoulders was related to bringing technology aspects into the crop insurance scheme of India. We have been interacting on this issue and were supposed to work on some of these issues for non-cereal crops. Again, it was his insistence and support we got associated into this activities. I am very proud to say that Dr. Ray stands tall among all the luminaries of agriculture physics alumni, who truly justifies his training in multidisciplinary science of agrometeorology, soil science, remote sensing and instrumentation to bring solutions to the problem of farming communities. His contributions also in strengthening our Indian Society of Remote Sensing, Delhi chapter, as well as Indian Society of Agrophysics are also commendable. As recently as January 2021, we had been discussing his post-retirement plans that included many options like writing, editing books, joining as honorary adjunct faculty either at IRI or other university. I wish it could have come true and society would have really benefited more by the wisdom of Dr. Ray. He will remain in our thoughts and deeds. Thanks.